So there's this thing that happens at the Kingston Wharf after midnight. And if you know, you know. But this guy, we're going to call him Marcus, he didn't know. Or maybe he knew just enough to get himself into the kind of trouble that changes your life forever. And I'm not talking about a good change. Marcus was 23, Spanish town, dead broke, and his girlfriend just hit him with the news that she was pregnant. Now look, I've been broke. You've been broke. We've all had that moment where the walls feel like they're closing in. But Marcus, he was desperate in a way that makes people do stupid things, dangerous things. And this connector he knew, some guy who knew a guy, offered him a solution. 20,000 US dollars, a guaranteed trip to Miami. First class, the guy called it. Private suite, just don't make any noise. Marcus didn't ask questions. He paid the money. And on a rainy Tuesday night at 2 a.m., he found himself standing on a dock in Kingston, staring into the open back of a refrigerated shipping container filled with frozen seafood. And here's where I'm gonna stop and say, Marcus, my guy, my dude, you saw a refrigerated truck filled with fish boxes and you thought, first class? At what point does your brain not go, maybe this is a terrible idea? But desperation doesn't think. Desperation just acts. So Marcus crawled inside. The door slammed, total darkness, and I'm talking can't see a hand dark. The smell hit him first, diesel, rotting fish, and that chemical cold that gets into your bones. He couldn't stand up, could barely move, just boxes everywhere and a floor that was already wet with something he didn't want to identify. Then the engine started, and the silence came. You ever been in complete silence? Not quiet, I mean nothing. Just the ocean rocking you, and your own heartbeat so loud it feels like drums. Marcus said later he started hallucinating within the first few hours. Seeing faces, hearing voices, talking to people who weren't there. And this was day one. But here's where it gets bad, like really bad. Marcus felt water seeping through the floor, cold, getting deeper. The container was leaking, or worse, they were taking on water somewhere. And in that moment, trapped in pitch black with no phone, no light, no way to know if he was sinking or just imagining it, Marcus did what any of us would do. He panicked, started banging on the walls, screaming, "Somebody, somebody." Nobody answered, because of course they didn't. The whole point of smuggling humans is that nobody can know they're there. So Marcus sat in that wet darkness and genuinely thought he was going to die. Not might die. He was convinced. He told me later he actually said goodbye to his unborn child out loud in a box full of frozen shrimp. But here's where the story takes a turn, because the boat didn't sink, it docked. And when it docked, Marcus heard voices, American accents, ICE agents, dogs barking. The door swung open, light flooded in, and Marcus, trembling, soaked, probably smelling like a dumpster behind a seafood restaurant, just lay there, waiting to be caught. But the agent, he looked at his clipboard, counted the boxes, and walked away. Door closed. Darkness returned. Y'all catch that? The connector had paid someone off. Marcus wasn't just hidden, he was officially invisible. The paperwork said 400 boxes of seafood, and that's what the agent saw. Marcus didn't even register. He was a ghost in the system. 4 more days in that darkness, 4 days of his own waste, panic attacks, and praying to a God he'd never believed in before. When that door finally opened in Miami, he said the sunlight felt like it was burning him, like his eyes had forgotten what daylight looked like. Marcus made it, built a life. His kid is 15 now, but he still can't handle small spaces. Elevators make him sweat. Tight cars trigger panic attacks. He told me, and this stuck with me, he said, that container is still with me. Every single day. So yeah, desperation makes you do things. It makes you crawl into boxes and hope for the best. But sometimes, the price of survival isn't paid all at once. Sometimes, you pay it in installments for the rest of your life. Yardie Confessions. If this one hit you, Let me know in the comments. And if you've got a story, you know where to find me. Bless up.